This video deals with the Excel exercises. Let's start with the first slide. This slide deals with information and files you need to go on with the exercises. All the files you need for these video lessons you can find in the network folder you see here in this slide. In particular, you need this laboratory Excel file. So I suggest you to copy this file from the network folder to your computer. In this network folder also you can find the solutions regarding this laboratory file. You can also download these files from the website of Professor Coletti. Here we have also some settings that we have to check before going on with the exercises. In particular, under File, Option, Advanced, I suggest you to check the separators, because if they are wrong, Excel interprets number and text in the wrong way. You can identify it because it aligns them to the left. So let's check. I open Excel, File, Options, Advanced. Here for Use System Separators, this is unchecked because I'm using my own settings. For decimal separator I have a comma, for thousand separators I have a dot. So normally we are going to use these settings, but you must be able to change these settings. Let's go on with the next slide. Here you have some basic information about Excel. So what is an Excel document? An Excel document is composed by a workbook, which includes several worksheets. Then each worksheet is a collection of cells, and you can switch from one worksheet to the other using the sheet tabs. Then each worksheet that is composed of cells. Let's see what a cell is. Cell is the basic container of information. You can identify each cell by column index and row index. You can also identify it by a name if you specify your own name in the name box. And then the formula bar, which shows the real content of the cell. So let's see on Excel all of this information. I open a new workbook. An empty one. Now, this is how workbook looks like. This is the sheet, the current sheet. You can create a new one if you click here, and then you can switch from one sheet to the other using this. Each cell is identified by a column index, which is a letter, and a row index, which is a number. And then you have this name box where you can specify your own name for each cell. This is the formula bar, which shows the real content of each cell. So now let's switch to the presentation again. This slide deals with other basic information you need. It's about the types you are dealing with in Excel, the different types you see are number and with a different format, the currency, date, time, and percentage. When you deal with formulas and you need to enter a new formula in a cell, you always start with the equal symbol. If you deal with the text, Excel, if it recognizes it as text, it aligns it to the left. If you want to convince Excel that what you have entered in the cell is text, you can use the apostrophe symbol just before the text. So let's see where where you can find this information in Excel. So I'm switching to Excel. Here under Home, Number, if you click here, you have some general settings that Excel is proposing to you. So if you use this menu, you can find some of the types we have just seen in the slide. If you click here, this window opens where you can find all the settings for the format and type. So here we are dealing in these exercises with number, and you can specify the number of decimal places, currency. Also here you can specify the symbol of the currency, the number of decimal places. If you want that the negative numbers are red colored or not. Here we deal also for dates. Here you see the different types, and you can change. You can have also have other types if you change your location. Here are the settings for the percentage. You can change the decimal places, the number of decimal places. And then here we have the text. Now I go back to the slide. Let's switch to the next slide. So here we have the first exercise. It deals with importing tables. To go on with this exercise, you need three text files: text underscore fixed.txt, text1.txt, text2.txt. So I suggest you to copy these files from the network folder of the course, or you can download them from the website of Professor Coletti. The first point of the exercise is about how to import text file using the fixed width option. You have here two ways to do it. You can use open and then select file, or you can use get external data from the data menu and then from text, and then you have to look for these files on your computer. You have to select the right settings, fixed width, and then you have imported your data into Excel. So now pause this video and try to import this file into Excel. So please pause this video. Okay, now let's see how to import this file into Excel. So I use the option data, get external data. From get external data, I select from text. Here I look for the file we need to import. The file I need is this one. I select it and I click import. This window opens the text import wizard, where we have to set some settings. We have two options here: delimited, if the text inside the file is separated by characters such commas, tabs, or other special characters. In this case, we are dealing with text which is separated by a fixed width. So I select this one, as also it is suggested in the slide. Here you see the preview of the text. Now click next. Next again. Here we don't need to change anything. You can click finish. Then you select the where you want to put your data. I want to put the data starting from here. Then click OK. So here we have imported our data. Now let's go back to the presentation. Okay, this slide is about importing tables that don't have a fixed width delimiter. We need to import text1 file specifying the correct delimiters, and then we need to change the cell formats according to these settings. The first column must be text. The second and the third columns must be numbers with no decimal digits after. The third column has to be currency with this format for the euro. Fifth column has to be percentage with only one decimal digit. The sixth column should be formatted to date with this type. Now let's open Excel. Let's import the data. So I select data from text. I choose the right file, text1. Click import. The text import wizard opens. In this case, we have to select delimited. Here, in this step, you can specify the delimiters. Excel is proposing some to you. You have to look to the data preview to see if you are formatting the data in the right way. Tab is already selected. Here we can see that we need also space, so I choose space. Then we can see that also semicolon is one delimiter, so I select semicolon. There is another delimiter, this one. We need in this case to check other and to enter manually this symbol. Now everything looks fine, so click next and then finish. Select where you want to insert your data and then click OK. Now let's format the data. The first column must be formatted to text. So I select the first column. I go to Home. And then from this menu, I select text. Second and third column of the table must be formatted to numbers with no decimal digits. So I select the second and third columns. Then from here I select number. And then you can use this feature provided by Excel to let you increase the decimal. With this you can increase the decimal, with this you can decrease the decimal. So in this case we don't need the decimal digits. Now let's format the first column, which is a currency. I select the first column and then I click here because we need to specify the right type. I select currency from here and then from here let's look for the right type. It's under euro here with the euro symbol at the end. Okay. Now let's format the the fourth column. No, fifth column. This one. It must be percentage. So from here you select percentage. In this case we need one decimal digit. So I decrease the number of digits by 1. The last column has to be formatted as a date. So I select this cell range. I click here. I select date. And then here Excel is proposing some types according to the location English United Kingdom. If you want to select the right one, the one that is requested in the exercise, you need to change the location from English United Kingdom to English United States. And then here at the end there is the right type, this one. So we have imported our data and we have changed the format in the right way. Let's go back to the slide. Let's switch to the next one. Here again we needed to import a table that is in text2 file. In this case we need to use the correct delimiters as we have already as we have made done with the other exercise. And then you need to change the formats. The first column has to be date with this type. The second one time with this type. The third column currency with this type, so the euro symbol is at the beginning. The third column text, and the fifth column number with no decimal digits. So now pause this video and try to solve this exercise. Please pause this video. Now let's see the solution. Again from data, from text, I choose the right file, this one, text2. Then I click import. I select delimited and then next. From here I have to choose the right delimiters. We need, as we can see here, space, and then we need also to separate the time column from the cost column. So we need to specify this symbol as delimiter. So I choose other, and then I enter the right delimiter. Everything looks fine. So click next and then finish. Now let's format the table. The first column has to be date. So I select this cell range for the first column, and then I choose date with the right format, this one, the right type. The second column has to be formatted to time. So I select the second column, I click here, and then I choose time, and in particular this type as requested from the exercise. The third column has to be currency, in particular euro, with the euro symbol at the beginning. So I click here, I select currency, here, let's look for the right one, is this one. Okay. The third column has to be text, so I select this column, and then from this menu I select text. The last column of the table has to be formatted to number, so from here I select number, and then I change also the number of decimal digits to 0. And that's all. Now let's go back to the slides. This slide is dealing with series, so how to produce a series of dates, percentage, numbers. We need to open an empty Excel workbook, and then in column B you have to create a list of dates, month and year from January 1993 up to December 2004. And then have to create in column C a list of potential interest rates from 0% to 3% with a step of 0.2%. So now pause this video and try to solve this exercise by yourself. So please pause this video. Now let's see the solution together. Let's switch to Excel. Let's produce the list of dates. In the first cell here, I enter the first date of the list, which is January 1993. Then I enter the second date of the list, which is February 1993. I select the two cells and then I drag down until I see December 2004. Okay. Ok. Too long. December 2004. Okay, here we are. The other possible way to produce a list of dates or numbers or whatever is to use the fill option. So again, first enter the first date of the list, which is January 1993. Here, select the first element of the list we have just entered. Then under Home, Fill, Series, you have this window. Then you have to have some options like have to choose where we want to produce the series along the rows or along the columns. So I want to produce it in column C, so I select columns. Here we are dealing with the dates, so I select date. The date unit in our case is month, and the step value is 1. Here we have to enter the step value, which is the date December 2004. Now we need only to click OK. And as you can see, we have produced the same list of dates we have produced before with the other method. Now let's produce the list of interest rates in column C. We need to start from 0% and then we have to stop to 3% with a step of 0,2. So according to these requirements, we need the second element of the list is 0,2. I select these two cells and then I drag down until I see 3%. Okay, we need to go on more. Let's select the number of digits. Okay, let's say a couple of number of decimal digits. And so let's see how to produce this with the other way. I'm going to do it in column D. So first element of the list. Then I select this cell and then from fill I select series. I choose columns because I want to produce this list of percentages in column D. As type, select linear, that's okay. The step value is 0,2. Please don't forget the percentage symbol. The stop value is 3%. Okay, let's change the number of decimal digits. And here we have produced the same solution as for the other case. Now let's go back to the presentation. And let's switch to the next slide.